Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. So I started some winter sowing projects in January. I didn't document that because I wasn't really making videos at the time, but I did make a video just kind of opening them up and showing you guys what I did start and the successes of it and that kind of stuff. However, I have been incredibly busy with so many things happening lately. All good stuff really, but I've just been so busy that I actually haven't even gotten around to planting them until now, and it's June. But nonetheless, I'm going to do it today, and it's going to be all taken care of. So why don't I show you again, just to see what everything looks like. It doesn't look a whole lot different, just because they haven't really been able to grow much because they're still in their cans. But then I'll just kind of show you where I'm going to be planting everything. And I will be honest, I'm not even exactly sure where I'm going to be planting everything. I have some idea, but I'll just figure it out as I go. Okay, so here are the 6 containers. They've just been sitting here since the last video, actually. So I'll just quickly go over what I have again, from what I can even remember. They have blue fescue grass, which has done extremely well, actually. So that's probably what I'm most proud of, I guess. And then I was talking about the rosemary before, how I didn't really have any success with it. However, this is one rosemary plant here that is finally starting to grow, and then I actually just noticed that there's a second one that's starting to grow as well. So I at least have those 2 for now. So I'll just put those in a pot separately and just keep those off to the side, but they'll do something at least. These are the coneflowers, I believe. I don't know if I have any labels on them anymore. Yeah, these are the echinacea, like the purple coneflower, just like the traditional variety. Oh, I think there's a poppy that got mixed in or something like that with it. Anyways, these are doing pretty well. There's a decent amount of plants, so those are going to do pretty well. These are the oriental poppies, and I have this whole thing that's like going to seed at this point, so I don't know, I guess I have more poppy seeds, but they're doing all right. They lost a lot of leaves, but they still have some good growth on them, so I think once I separate them and put them somewhere, they'll start to take off. Then I have here, these are all right, I'll put the names on the screens of these 2 different plants. So here's the first one, and then here's the second one, just to make it easier for myself. These are all doing really well though. But yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to try to separate these as best as I can, but I might have to put them in just like a few different clumps, and then I'll just have a few of each plant, whatever ends up working out the best. But yeah, I'm just going to put these throughout the yard. Okay, well that was probably the most I've planted ever. I kind of just decided to just get everything done. I had so much stuff that was still in pots, and it's June. That's the only thing. Like, I gotta get stuff in the ground so it can start growing. But all the winter sowing stuff is done except for the one rosemary. I'm just gonna find a pot for that downstairs, and then I'll just leave it outside for now, because that'll be fine. But everything else is planted in the ground, and I'm just gonna go over and show you everything that I did. So I started off with the blue fescue grass, and you can see that there's 1, 2, 3, and then 4 clumps there. There's more than one plant in each clump, but I think that'll ultimately end up working out better, especially for this year in general, just because they're really small right now, and you could still see them, but I think having a couple plants together, it'll fill out a little bit faster. There's pansies that are around there. I'm sure they're not going to do super well during the summer because they're in full sun right now, so I'll probably just end up pulling those. But I do want to put some more stuff around, like 1, 2, 3. I was thinking about doing maybe some sort of daisy or something like that. Like, I do have this it's called Amazing Daisies, Daisy May. There's one bloom on it, but it's about to bloom with a whole bunch of others. So I was thinking about doing something similar to that. So I'll see what I want to do for that, but I might not even do that this year. Then we have the Columbine. It's the Columbine Blue Star. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. And then I did 1, 2, 3 there. So those should fill in and do pretty well for there. If they end up getting in the way, because there's a limelight hydrangea there, and I know it's going to get big, but I kind of just put them there for this year, and I could always transplant the perennials. But I put those 8 there, so I got 8 clumps out of those. Then around here, because we have this tiny Y9 bark, and it's a nice, like, deep purple color, I figured doing something red with the purple would be something kind of nice. I just didn't know how well like the blue would mix, so I figured, I don't know, I would just do that. So I ended up getting 7 clumps, and they're very small, as you can see. They're not the easiest to see either, but we have one here, another one there, another one there, and then I'm just trying not to step on plants as I do this. Another one here, one there, and then one there. So I have those kind of ringing around this 9 bark. I'm not sure how well they're gonna grow this year, but I think now that they're in the ground, they'll be at least better than they were before. Then we have the delphiniums, or I take that back. Sorry, these are columbine. Those are delphiniums. So here's the columbine. I wanted to plant this year because these get taller than the delphiniums. So they'll fill in the space because that's not going to get too big this year. That's not really going to grow anymore this year at all. And the grasses, they're getting taller, but they're not really going to fill out. So I knew there was going to be kind of a lot of empty space here. So we have 1, 2, 3, and then I just did the opposite design on the other side. 1, 2, 3. So I got 6 clumps out of these, and these are looking like really healthy. Definitely one of the better plants for sure. And I was able to get like good clumps out of all of those. All right, so now back to this area. So if you're not super familiar with my yard, the garden beds are right over here. I was just standing over there before. That's where the planter bed is, over that way. So I just walked over here, and then this is the garden bed. We're going to be putting wood chips in here very soon. My dad just wanted to wait until all this new grass seed that we planted started to fill in and was kind of strong enough. But probably maybe this week, if not next week, we'll definitely be putting it in this area, so it'll look a lot nicer there. But we have these new beds here, and we have so much empty space. Like, I planted a couple things over there. There's the tree there, but most of it's just empty space. And we're eventually going to set up our compost system here. So I figured maybe just for this year, while there's nothing there, I'll just plant a whole bunch of stuff here, and then the perennials I can transplant if I need to. If not, we'll just leave them there, and all the annuals will just die anyways. So I first started off with the echinacea purple coneflower. I ended up with 16 plants. So that's what's in this front swoop right over here. So I have 16 of those there. And then I had 3 types of zinnias that I started from seed. So obviously those are an annual. So I have them here. I think this is like called candy cane, something like that. So it's like a whitish red. There was 3 of those, I think. And then there's 4 over here, which are called cut and come again, which are kind of like a multicolored one. And then over here we have envy, which is like a nice chartreuse green color. So those will get a little bit taller than these for the season. I'll be cutting those flowers and taking them inside, so hopefully they'll grow pretty well. This area, it's like more full sun over here, and then it starts to become more partial and shaded as it goes on. So hopefully this area will get enough sun for all of these. But there's a ton of coneflowers, and I'll probably end up digging those out maybe in the next year or 2 once they start to put on some size, and I'll give some of them away to family and friends. Then if I walk over here, I had some, these 4 right here are Supertunia Vista bubblegum. I kind of did an experiment with them, so I had them in those pots, or in that pot for the longest time, so those needed to go in the ground. They don't have any flowers on them now, but I gave them biotone like everything else, and then also with these in particular, I have the bag right over here. It's not an organic thing. I got it a little while ago, but I have so much of it left, so I'm just trying to use it. It's just like a rose fertilizer, anything for like flowering stuff. So like I've used that on like hydrangeas and other stuff like that too. So anyways, I got those 4 there, and then I got these 3 sunflowers. The only thing is they were in their container for so long that maybe not this one. This one though, I think there's already a flower there. I don't know. So we're gonna see what these do. But I planted those 3 because they're gonna get taller than the Vista bubblegum. So those will be there for this season, and those are all annuals. Well, I think that's it for this video. I wasn't even planning on doing all of this, but today's like the one day that I have free, so I'm just gonna try to get everything done and then just watch everything grow. I haven't watered anything in yet, so I'm going to do that now. I'm just gonna water it in lightly. I'm gonna be really careful because they're really small, but I know within the next few weeks they're gonna bulk up. But I know I needed to get those out of the containers because we have one day, we might actually break the record. So today's Friday, Monday is going to be like 93. So that's hot for here, just so you know. Hot and really, really humid. So I knew that those needed to get out of their containers and into the ground so that way they can start to root in. But with the hot temperatures, I think they're gonna really start to bulk up and put on some good growth. So I'm excited. So I'm just gonna keep an eye on them, water them in well. Like I said before, I gave everything biotone, so that should help them root in really well because most of the stuff I planted are perennials. So they're gonna keep coming back every year, so I wanna make sure that they do well. But yeah, and I think that's pretty much it. So I think I don't need to fertilize them again for this season. I think they'll be good for now. But if you have any questions or comments, feel free to put them down below. I will also just say one more thing too, that most of the stuff I already made videos on in the past. So if you wanted to see any of the process, especially like the winter sowing when I first opened them, you can see what they looked like, all that kind of stuff. But anyways, I just wanted to show you guys putting them in the ground because I know there was somebody that specifically said that they wanted to see me put them in the ground and where they were going to be going. So I hope this helped. I'm not sure exactly if all this stuff is going to stay where it is, but it's in the ground for now, so that's good enough. All right, I'll stop my rambling for today. I hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.